Hi once again, and welcome to another one of my chats with Shaz. And today I'm coming to you from a really different location. I'm here in sunny Florida with a great friend of mine and a mentor who I've known for close to 30 years, and I'd love to introduce you to her, Alison Nolting from Africa Adventure Company. So hi Ali, how are you?
Welcome Shaz, very well.
It's so good to be in your town and out of Zimbabwe, which I love, but it's also good to be traveling again, you know, and to be here. So thank you for having me as well. So Alison is the wife of Mark Nolting, who's written about 3 guidebooks on Africa. And not only that, but Alison has joined Mark in America and has been talking Africa and selling Africa to the rest of the world, and is probably the biggest supplier to Africa out of the US, right?
At one time.
You're just being modest. Ali, let's just go into this now. You're an ex-Zimbabwean. How does it feel like to, with your knowledge of being Zimbabwean, to be an American now, and was it hard to adapt to living here?
Well, this year, believe it or not, it's been 30 years that
Wow.
I've been in Florida, and we always miss our roots.
Yeah.
Every day we miss our roots where we were born, and the adapting to Florida was quite easy. The lifestyle with the climate and the outdoors did make an easy transition here.
But that's why you phone me all the time. She's always phoning us Zimbabweans just to get her little fix and to hear the crickets in the background and wherever we are.
We know
You can't let go of that, hey?
We miss the bird calls, we miss the night owls,
And the
obviously,
sounds and the cricket, yeah.
all of that, the rain, that smell of the rain.
Yeah.
We do.
So Ali, being Zimbabwean, it's probably been easy for you, and tell me about how it was to sell the destination Zimbabwe, because you have been Zimbabwean. I mean, it's in your blood, right?
It definitely is. I mean, speaking with a voice from Africa,
and with a Zimbabwean accent.
Some people wonder where it is.
Yeah.
I often have to
Explain.
let them have five choices before they get the right one.
Yeah.
But having grown up there, people come to you and want to talk about going to Africa for the first time.
Yeah.
And it's just wonderful to be able to talk about the people, the wildlife, and because you've grown up with it.
So Alison has probably been in more African countries than anybody else I've ever known, and probably to many of the most beautiful lodges around Africa. But we're talking specifically Zimbabwe now. So tell me, what do you think, Ali, is one of Zimbabwe's best selling points as a destination?
I think
compared to the rest of Africa
and into the context of first timers,
Yes.
how do you get them drawn into the uniqueness of Zimbabwe?
Yeah, good.
And over 30 years, you listen in the conversation for certain aspects, and when they say they don't want to be part of crowds, you say, okay, got it, let's get you remote.
Yeah.
And they say we want to be a little bit more participating in, not just being in the vehicle viewing the wildlife. And hands down, to me, the 2 most unique experiences are walking up to conical elephants in Zimbabwe. Second is gorilla trekking, and those magnificent silverbacks. So Zimbabwe offers that, the uniqueness of being able to participate, getting out of vehicles, walking the Matopos Hills, where you've got the beautiful granite outcrops. And it's a unique family destination too. There's so much with Victoria Falls that the kids can participate in whitewater rafting, get on the Zambezi River. So it's, once you've found part of that conversation, it's very easy to draw people into.
Well, you've been taking your kids to Zimbabwe for 30 years, really. How old are the cameraman is actually one of Ali's sons, so thanks, Miles. But you've been taking them to Zimbabwe, so from babies they've enjoyed their that upbringing as well.
They have. I mean, they were fortunate enough to go pretty much every summer to Africa, and you have seen them at the ages of 5, at the ages of 12, at the ages of 16.
How they appreciate different things.
They totally appreciate different things as graduates. And, circling back to Zimbabwe, they have definitely absorbed that African culture with so many visitors like you. Thank you. It's unbelievable that you're here post-COVID travel.
I'm the first one, right?
Yes, you are.
So Ali, during the COVID era, I know you're very involved in conservation, and you always have been. You're a board member of Bushlife Conservancy. How did you see that through this COVID time?
It was interesting because there weren't tourists traveling into the parks. We knew we needed to be doing a little bit more fundraising in order to keep the anti-poaching patrols out. It's a collaboration with Zim Parks.
Okay.
And they did have a successful season in Matopos last year, which is one of our favorite destinations when we plan trips in Zim. And we've carried it through to this year because unfortunately quite a few people have postponed already for May and June. But that, being on the board member, I really saw the kick-in of how important it was to finance tourism dollars.
Yeah, and where they go. Yeah.
So come out of post-COVID, people starting to travel again. Shaz, I just see Zimbabwe has to be one of the emerging destinations.
Yeah.
People want to get out on the ground. They want to slow the safari down a bit. They don't necessarily need luxury.
Yeah. It's got to be that wholesomeness of Zimbabwe that people are looking for now, right?
It is. It's that organic, like you, with the small family-owned properties. That's what people are looking for. They're looking for a closer connection.
Yeah.
And I think Zimbabwe is perfectly poised for that.
So Alison, there's maybe potential safari goers watching this program. I hope there are. What would be your advice to them?
I think what you've shown us, Shaz, is that you've been vaccinated, you got on a plane, you made it here even with your COVID test. And we know we've got clients who are doing the same.
Yeah.
They've been vaccinated, they've been boxed up for a year, they want to travel. And we say, go out there, be part of the 20% that is supporting conservation.
Yeah.
You're going to have an amazing time. We know from your weekly updates that the wildlife is flourishing.
Yeah.
And you can go this year.
But it's also so important because there's so many downstream providers that are being sustained by tourism dollars. The families of the people who work in camps and stuff. And without tourism, that's they're all suffering. But I think is it 20% of what you're saying of people that are traveling now?
Well, if we can get the numbers up to 20% of
makes a big difference.
The normal, then we can make a difference. Because the numbers we all know right now are a little bit too low. We need those numbers to get up to 20% and make a difference for this year.
And what's great about Zim is that we're all fully vaccinated. I mean, our camps are all our staff are fully vaccinated. We were quite progressive in getting that vaccine rollout through our country. So, it's really a safe destination. Plus, it's so wide open. You're outdoors all the time. You've got the wind in your face all the time. In the back of a game drive vehicle, it really is a healthy experience to be on a safari right now.
It's we know you've got protocols. I saw for myself when I was in Africa in December. You're taking them seriously. I know we heard the fantastic news that Vic Falls is ahead of the game, turning around COVID tests to carry on a multi-country trip into Botswana. You can get them in 4 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fantastic news.
Yeah. So bringing it back to Matopos, let's look at Matopos because it's an off-the-beaten-track experience. What is it about Matopos that you find easy to talk to people about, or do you find as one of the unique selling points?
I think with Matopos, it's all part of a slow safari. You can put it at the beginning or the end. It's part of the big 5. We know they can come and do the rhino tracking
Yeah.
right in your backyard. They might have come from Wangi, where they've seen the Serengeti of elephants. They've seen giraffe, zebra, buffalo, elephant, and they come to Matopos to circle out the big 5 sightings. But on top of that, you've just got the most magnificent aura of soulness.
Yeah.
That when people come to Matopos, they'll be connected forever. They've participated again, that word I love. They've climbed up the rocks, seen the ancient historical paintings. They can meet the fabulous people, the warm embrace they get from Zimbabwe folk.
Yeah, and getting involved and probably immersed in the culture of Zimbabweans right there, which is important, I think, on a safari. I don't want to be taking the words out of your mouth, but I mean, it's that is important to understand the culture before you just take a photograph and leave again, right?
That's the whole thing about the slowing safari. So you do make time to have a conversation with the people, share each other's cultures, and there's no other place like Matopos where you leave your soul, and people come back. I mean, we've seen that with when you have grown your Mother Trust organization and helped with the community, how the first timer arrived, and now they're coming back for their
10th year.
Their 10th year.
Probably even more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks. That's how far back we go, like 30 years. But more recently, in the last 10 years, a very close friend of Alison's came out and she left her heart in Matopos, and now she's one of our trustees. So that's how people are touched.
I think what's coming out of post-COVID that will make Zimbabwe very attractive is its affordability. People, as a first-time destination, maybe don't want to splurge on a very expensive package. They can definitely look at Zimbabwe as, let's do it more price conscious.
Yeah.
And that's what Zimbabwe can do. You
Yeah.
can have a great game viewing experience. Even though Botswana's on the doorstep, you can still see what you're going to see in Botswana in Wangi National Park.
Yeah.
You can get down to the riverine ecosystem of Mana pools. And thirdly, what Matoba Hills offers again is a 3 or 4 night stay with non-stop being involved, being active, and it's a great location, but it's not over the top prices.
Yeah. I think it's a good point, because I think, in the past, a trip to Africa was always seen as a once in a lifetime experience. Now it doesn't need to be. It can be more than that, because of the pricing has been, static for quite a while, and probably even coming down a bit in some places.
Well, we know for us, a business that's been around a while, supporting the emerging, so many different lodges and camps to choose from over the last 15-30 years. What's come about is we've got to bring in a new generation of people to travel for the first time and do what our repeaters have been doing for 10 years, is taking 4, maybe 5 trips.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm excited about with you being here and bringing, Zim back on the map for 2022, is getting the younger generation to come try.
And I think that's something that, Ali, we both share in, is that your family is now 2nd, 3rd generation. Our family is the 3rd generation, and we have Miles here and Savannah, and we see our kids having been bitten by that safari fever, who are now in the business with us and taking it on again. And I think that's part of what safari and selling safaris in Africa is about, the people and the connections that you make.
It is about the relationships and all the fun memories we have.
Because
and
we have had.
Yeah, and it's been a pleasure mentoring you, Shaz, and you've grown into the next people to carry the lantern. So good luck.
I might not be the next person, but I have come a long way after having met Ali. She saw me as this really juvenile guppy that in the business, and but you've been fantastic to me and to Sal. I know you take her under your wing whenever you can, and so thank you for that, Ali. And we just wish you all the success, and we know that we're almost through this stage, and we're all going to see each other on safaris again soon. So thank you for being with us today, and if you want to follow us, then go and see our Facebook, Instagram and YouTube channels, and follow Africa Adventure